First, why don't you tell me a little bit about just like why you chose the three songs? Just
Well, Without You is the last song that I actually released. My very last single on Spotify and like other platforms. I've released stuff on like TikTok, Instagram, SoundCloud, but Without You is a little bit special to me just because I was kind of going through something while writing it. And I just feel like it's really special to share those kinds of feelings with everyone and just let people know that it's okay. Like sometimes are rough, but you grow from it. By My Side was actually a collaboration with Signature D, a Stetson student, and Justin Delisay, who was also a Stetson student, now an alum. And my last song is Untitled, but yeah, I haven't figured out a name for it yet, but we'll get there.
awesome. So I can't wait to hear what you have for us. So let's just go right into it. Let's listen. Here's Chelz Danielle with Without You.
Awesome. Actions speak louder than words. You always say one thing but mean another. I'm tired of playing these games, but if you're gonna go, I'll find another. Why can't you just talk about what you really want? You play with my mind instead. Before you know it, I'm gone. And I'll take my time to spend another minute without you. Without you. And I'll take my time to spend another minute without you. Without you. It seems like every moment we spent was wasted time. I'm happy to be on my own. It's a bridge that I have to climb. And I'll take my time to spend another minute without you. Without you. And I'll take my time to spend another minute without you. Without you.
Wow. It's very powerful sounding song.
Thank you so much.
So when I first, I will preface this with I did listen to some of your music before you came on the show today, and when I first listened to Without You and You and I definitely got hints of like some Childish Gambino type, like Awaken My Love, or a little bit of Chance the Rapper's more soulful stuff. So I was just kind of wondering, what were your main musical influences when writing like that style?
I would say like what's got me into producing music in general and kind of just doing like multiple things at once is Esperanza Spalding. Actually, it's not the same style, but she does play bass and sing at the same time, and I just thought it was really cool. So that's kind of what influenced me to start doing what I'm doing. But in terms of stylistic influences, I would say that I get a lot of inspiration from Moonchild, Robert Glasper, Erykah Badu, Sade, artists like that.
Okay. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, well, I can definitely see the influence. It's very soulful music that you produce, and I
Thank
just
you.
think that's really, really cool. So next up, you have a song by my side. It's a collaboration with Signature D and Justin Dalasay. As you mentioned earlier, they are both at least they were at one point Stetson students. Justin Dalasay, I think you mentioned, is now an alumni, and Signature D is still a Stetson student. So yeah, let's go ahead and move right into by my side.
Awesome.
Just bear with us a moment while we transition to the other instrumentation.
till we fly away.
Nice.
Thanks.
So we'll just have you transition back over to the other microphone. So when listening to that song, I definitely get very strong feelings of like calm and relaxation. I think that that's a very nice feeling to that a lot of music can bring. So I don't know what. I don't know how to word this. When you were writing this song, when you were writing By My Side, were you kind of trying to get that kind of feeling, like trying to have a nice, more relaxed feeling from the song?
Yeah, honestly, me and Dustin wrote this song together in a Zoom session. Actually, no, it was a FaceTime call, but we did write this song together, and I was kind of going for something like comparing your feelings to nature in a way, like comparing your feelings to the moon, to the ocean, and I feel like that kind of gives like a relaxed feeling because, I mean, that's what love is supposed to feel like. I mean, it's not supposed to be like
Difficult.
crashing waves, but rather nice waves, you know?
Yeah, like
Like a
a
nice
day at the beach. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you talked a little bit about working with Signature D, Destin. So just I know that you also produce a lot of your own music. So what's it like going back and forth between producing your own content or working with other producers? Like, is it fun, challenging? How do you balance it?
I honestly think it's a lot of fun. I mean, I mostly do content on my social media platforms where I'll try and make my own songs. I've been trying to think of some more like interesting ideas, but it always feels nice when somebody sends me a beat or a track and they're like, oh, I think you would sound nice on it. And it works out even better if I love the track and I happen to really love that track. We were wanting to work together anyways, and we have worked together previously on my one track called Mysterious. That was actually the first single that I've released. So yeah, it's awesome working with somebody who also goes to Stetson. It just makes life so much easier.
Definitely. Cool. So your next song, you were telling me about it a little bit before we started. You said it's untitled, but you also mentioned that you kind of wrote it for this, and I can't wait to hear it. So here's the debut performance of Untitled.
I sit alone at night and wonder who I am, staring at the water, and I put my feet
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
That song sounded, like it. I felt like that song everybody can kind of relate to. I kind of got the vibe of just somebody who's had a rough time, and I think we've all had a rough time recently in
Right.
some way or another. So I just think that song is kind of a perfect summation of like the feelings from 2020. You know?
Honestly, I completely agree. 2020 was very harsh. But
Yeah.
thank you.
So just have a couple more questions for you just before we kind of finish wrapping up here. So, tell me, what is your absolute favorite thing just about like making music?
I would say just the process of creating something from absolutely nothing. I just feel like it's really cool, like getting influence from my favorite artists, being able to listen to my favorite artists, and not only listening to the lyrics, but also listening to the sounds and how they made it sound like how it's supposed to feel, like with the chord progressions, with the melody, everything about that. Not only that, but like playing percussion, even being in Stetson band and percussion ensemble has really helped me kind of develop a sound in a way. I mean, I've been playing percussion for around like 7 years now. And it's been super fun to kind of incorporate that into my own music in a way, and into the drums that I use, the sounds that I use, the timbres of the sounds that I use. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So you've been making music of some kind for a long time then.
Yes, definitely.
Cool. So I'm trying to think here. Sorry.
I have some questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Gordon. This is Gordon. He is a fellow Radiohead person fan.
Whoa. I'm not Radiohead.
He's not Radiohead.
I don't know if I would be Radiohead. But so what do you play in percussion ensemble?
I just play like pretty much all of like the concert percussion instruments. I took Latin percussion lessons last semester. I took drum set lessons the semester before that. And now I'm kind of doing like my own route, kind of doing like commercial percussion, seeing how I can incorporate like live performance into percussion with like live looping and stuff like that.
Neat. Okay.
That's really
cool.
I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm hoping to get there at some point, because I would love to incorporate that into like my own music at some point.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. So yeah.
For sure. I know you post on Twitter. You have like those. You make some really cool, very professional beat making videos.
Thank you.
And I've tried to make them before, and it's hard to make. So I definitely appreciate the work and the time that you put into them. So like what? Tell me about kind of that process. Tell me about what goes into that.
Well, I usually start off in my songwriting process. I never start off with lyrics, surprisingly. I always start off with like a chord progression. And then I kind of think of the sound I'm trying to go for. Then I'll usually add drums, and then I'll add some sounds over that. And then I'll record vocals after that, whether it's lyrics or just some harmonies. And in terms of converting that into my videos, I'll usually record while taking a video of myself, and then I'll input that into this app called VLLO. Just a suggestion, if everyone's interested, definitely recommend that app for video editing.
On the phone.
It's like a $7 subscription for like unlimited. It's awesome. This is not sponsored, but anyways.
Hashtag not an ad.
But it's definitely pretty useful. I just like put the audio in there and kind of like match it with my singing, and then I put everything together, and then I post it on social media, and then the whole social media marketing is its own different thing.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah, social media marketing is
It's insane.
Honestly.
So I actually did have another question. I know that like music is it's meant to make you feel something. It's meant to inspire some type of emotion. And you talked a little bit about your song making process. So when you're creating a song, how do you find the emotion that you want to portray?
Usually I feel the emotion at the time that I'm writing the song. Usually when things are going well, I'll kind of go for something more upbeat. If things are kind of going down, I'll go for a little sad song. I don't know, it's just really like fluid in a way. But I mean, sometimes I'll just write anything, not like regardless of how I'm feeling. And I guess that kind of stems from like, if somebody sends me like an upbeat track, I'll probably write like a happy song to go with it. Or if somebody sends me a kind of mellow track, I'll write sort of mellow lyrics to kind of match the vibe or whatever of the song.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other questions you got, Gordon?
Yeah, you're using some pretty funky chords. Are you formally trained, or did you learn yourself?
I've never been trained on piano, but YouTube has trained me as much as I am.
YouTube is very good
be.
for that kind of
Definitely
stuff.
very helpful. I follow a lot of people as well who do a lot of neo-soul jazz stuff who are formally trained or have been doing it for a really long time. Because I mean, technically I started content creating at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020.
Gotcha. Okay.
So about a year now.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really helped seeing how other people do things and gaining influence from them. I've made a couple of friends through Instagram who don't even live here, but like they'll give me some suggestions, or like we'll FaceTime and have a recording session, or even have like a session where we jam out. It's just a lot of fun to kind of work with people online, given the restrictions that have been going on.
Yeah, that's so cool. I have kind of a final question, and that is, how do you culture creativity in your own life?
Like from my music into my own life, or like from my own life into my music?
Let's say, how do you make sure that you are, like, how do you keep being creative throughout all of these very silly things that are happening in the world?
It's definitely difficult to balance everything. I mean, especially with school, it's been a little bit difficult to like follow up on collaborations or even make my own music. But I definitely just feel like doing something every day, whether it's learning a new chord progression on piano or humming out a melody and saving it to your voice memos, or even just taking a video of you playing guitar and singing, even if it's not writing a song and releasing it on every platform every month. I would love to have the time to do that, but unfortunately, I can't right now. I just feel like doing something every day to kind of practice in a way and help yourself get better, even if it's singing along to your favorite song. Again, I feel like it's a form of practicing. I feel like that just keeps me inspired.
Okay, that's a really cool answer. I really dig that. So, I have a couple more questions, and then I think we'll be good to wrap up. So my one of my last questions for you is, when you were first starting out, making your own music, how did you go about finding your identity as a musician? I know that's something that can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So how did you handle that process of kind of figuring out what identity you wanted to have?
I would say that I don't think I've really found it yet. Like, I'm not really sure what to kind of place myself into. I feel like it's nice to have, like, a specific genre that you're, like, married to, but I also feel like it's pretty fun to do different things sometimes, because not only do I listen to, like, jazz and neo-soul, but I also love indie music.
Right.
I listen to a lot of, like, Alex G, Men I Trust, stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, I think a lot of professional artists, they don't really stick to one genre as much anymore. I feel like there's a lot more experimentation. So I think doing that starting out is actually really cool, because it kind of gets you a unique identity when creating.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, especially with an artist like Alex G, where you have like 14 different genres and 7 songs, it's like he's wild. I love him.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so if you could work with any musician, I know this is kind of a cliche question, but if you could work with any musician like go on tour with them or open for them or just produce a song with them, who would you choose to work with?
I would say right now the band Moonchild. They do a lot of like experimental like R&B, neo soul. Amber Navrin is an amazing singer, saxophonist. I absolutely love their music. Not only that, but they speak out against like injustices, and it's just great to see them use their platform for something that I support and something that's just really like positive.
They use their platform to inspire change.
Yes, absolutely.
That's really cool. I really think that's an awesome thing for artists to do, and I think that's a really cool inspiration. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all we have time for today. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Right before we end, how can people find you?
I am Chelz Danielle, Chelz Danielle, on all platforms. You can find my music. I just released Without You at the end of last year, so if you would like to check that out, feel free.
All right, you heard it here. Follow Chelz Danielle on Instagram, Twitter, literally everything. And follow What Radio, that's WHAT.radio on Instagram for more updates on various Glasswall sessions and other projects. We have a really cool staff of people. We have a bunch of cool shows in progress. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.